We are also seeing that ice is melting on our ice sheets on Earth, and that's causing a sea level rise across the world. So if we look at all these different charts on the right, these are some of the charts from the IPCC report, and these show that we're seeing a decrease in snow cover and sea ice extent as we see an increase in heat content of the oceans and sea level change over time. So what we're seeing is that glaciated areas have seen a reduction in the amount of ice and snow worldwide. So we see ice sheets, and ice sheets are important because ice sheets are areas where the ice is currently on land, and when it melts, it's going into the sea, and therefore it's causing sea level rise. When we talk about Arctic sea ice, we're not concerned about an increase in sea level because that ice is already in the ocean, and so it's not really adding to the volume of water in the ocean, but we are concerned about it because it's an important ecosystem for many animals and other life. But the ice sheets in Greenland, Antarctica, and then glaciers in the Arctic that are on land have lost and continue to lose mass. So when we talk about any of that ice that's on land, we are seeing that it's continuing to lose mass over time, and that rate of loss is actually increasing over time. We're also seeing that the Arctic summer sea ice, so that's the ice that's kind of covering the top of our, well, if you're northern hemisphere centric, the northern part of our globe, the northern pole of our globe, then we see that that summer sea ice has lost between 9.4% and 13.6% of its surface extent each decade in the last few decades, whereas the Antarctic is losing about 1.2% to 1.8% per decade. And again, those amounts are increasing over time, so the rate of loss is increasing. As a result of ice sheets melting, we're seeing that the sea level has risen by about 19 centimeters or 7.5 inches since 1901. And the current rate of the rise of the sea level is higher than it has been in the past 2,000 years. So that is a lot due to the melting of ice sheets, but it's also due to the expansion of the water as it warms up. So as you warm up water, it expands, and that's easy to see. If you do an experiment, you can put water in a pan on your stove, cold water, and then when you heat it up to almost boiling, you'll see that it rises up in the pan slightly. So if you're like me and you fill your pans too full, and then you heat them up, the water spills over the sides because you added too much water and it expanded. So that's what's happening on Earth, except there's nowhere for it to go except up the land surface, and so then sea levels are rising.